Fidelity Local 6, in partnership with Ozark Actors Theater, brings you the Christian rock band SinnerSaved.
Well, let's just get our first band out here and see how they're doing tonight. How's that?
I'm ready.
All right, let's have SinnerSaved. Can we get SinnerSaved out here?
I see feet. Oh, I see bodies. Come on, sit down, Bob. You get to sit next to me.
All righty.
How are you guys doing tonight?
Good. Doing good.
All right. Bob, I'm going to let you introduce your band for everybody. Would you please do that?
Sounds great. Thank you very much. This is Cody Wood on bass. Gabriel Morton on keyboards. And David Bergman on drums.
And
what do you do, Bob?
Oh, yeah, I play something. I'm on guitar and lead vocals.
well, Bob, why don't you give us a rundown on exactly what SinnerSaved is all about? You know, what type of music you guys play, and where you guys are from, your background, a little background. Give our audience a little lowdown on who you guys are.
All right, well, thank you. We're SinnerSaved, and the name pretty much says it all, that we're a Christian rock band, and we are sinners saved by the blood of Jesus. So that's what it's all about. We like to keep that. All right. Got some Christians out there, all right. Anyway, we have a lot of fun praising the Lord, and what these guys usually tell me is we rock your guys' faces off. So hopefully we'll be doing that tonight. I originally came from San Diego, California, and about a year and a half ago or so, I was laid off, and my wife decided that we should come out here and find jobs. We have some grandkids and kids out here. So coming out here from a major metropolis to a smaller town, of course, I was terrified that I wouldn't find anybody or anything, and it was just going to be crazy. But what it turned out is there's a lot more talent here per capita than there is in San Diego. That's for sure.
Yep.
This is a really
Absolutely.
place is crawling with musicians, for sure, and very good ones at that. So I was looking around for Craigslist, which there isn't one, if you didn't know that, in Raleigh area.
Well, you know, we don't have as much to do here as they do in San Diego.
Not quite as much.
Yeah. Anyway, I started repopulating my band. I wanted to find some members here. And so I found Raleigh.net, which is as close as I can get. Put a classified out. Went through a couple people, but then this guy's mom emailed me and said, hey, I have a 13-year-old son who would love to be in your band. And of course I asked my wife, hey, you want to go out and audition this guy? And she's like, you got to be kidding, 13 years old? I'm like, we should try it out, just see what happens. You just never know. It might at least be a nice ride or something like that. But anyway, we ended up auditioning Gabriel, and he turned out to be a phenomenal musician. So we were really happy about that. And then we practiced a couple, maybe a month or so. And then there was last year in February or March, there was a battle.
Hold on. I got a question for you. When you auditioned Gabriel, what was he playing?
Well, he wanted to play drums. And then when I auditioned him, though, he played guitar and he played keyboards. And
So he was covering all his bases.
yes, he was. And but he was great at keyboards. I mean, he's a really good piano player, and he played a couple pieces for us. And I just looked at my wife like, gosh. So anyway, at the end of the audition, we said, dude, we want you to be the keyboard player. So we started working together, working on some songs, and teaching him the ways of Jerry Lee Lewis piano and playing Hammond organ, things of that sort. Yeah, he gave me some weird looks back then. He still does.
Yes.
but nonetheless, we started working together, and in about last year, in February or March, there was a Battle of the Bands at the First Methodist here in town. And I told Susie, my wife, Susie, we should go out there and just check it out. I mean, I found that word of mouth is really the mode of communication out here in this area. So we went out, and my goal was just to meet as many musicians as possible. And so when we got there, a drum and bass duo came on stage to play a couple songs, and that was David and Cody here. And the name of the song, it was a Bella. Anybody know Bella Fleck? Have you ever heard of Bella Fleck? Okay, if you know banjo, then you probably don't know Bella Fleck, but he's a banjo player. He's extremely good. And so these guys basically started pumping out a song called Sinister Minister, which was kind of amazing. But I was just amazed. I said, I want these guys in my band. Well, luckily enough, Cody's mom was right behind me. And she's like, oh,
You're lucky meeting these
she
moms,
was excited.
aren't you?
Yes, my mother, in fact. And I would just say that it wouldn't be possible, really, without the support of the guys' parents and family, grandparents, cousins, brothers, etc. Because of that, not only do they have rides when they don't drive yet, but it's great. So we've turned from just being a band; it's really more of a family, kind of an extended.
Hey, let's hear from all those parents, grandparents.
Yeah.
We can't see you, but we know you're out there.
Yeah. So we've been having fun. We've we're going to have our first 1-year anniversary here this April.
All
1 year
right.
together.
Congratulations. Well, I would like to know from the other end down here, what kind of goal do you guys have for this band and for your music?
Our ultimate goal is to reach people from our ministry, I guess, if you want to call it that. But like, essentially, we want to change what people hear on the radio. It's usually what I hear from radio and Christian stuff is mellow stuff, and that totally turns me off towards the Christian message, where you're supposed to be glad that you're being saved by Jesus Christ. And we want to make a positive change in that kind of tone. So essentially, we want to change the people's attention from the secular world to the everlasting, lasting life of Jesus Christ.
And what do you do when you're not being a musician?
That would be video games, or I'm essentially at.
That was God.
Watch those videos.
Good job, Dave. Yeah, I'm essentially at S&T working with geological engineering, and I recently had an externship. I used to have this big old beard, but the professionals in the field are always jealous when you have a bigger beard than they do, so I just told them.
How about this bass player here? How do you consider your bass playing?
How do I consider my bass playing?
Yeah.
I like to consider myself playing an instrument, not so much the follow whatever people tell me to do kind of thing. But,
Hey, you're a bass player. People are supposed to follow you.
that's the way it should.
That's the way it's supposed to work.
But what David basically said, I think for me personally, I have a hard time really getting into Christian music sometimes because it's either like just the stuff you hear in church or just straight up metal, and I'm not a big fan of either of that. I really like just rock and roll, and that's what I really am into as a musician. And I really like playing in SinnerSaved because I can worship God, but at the same time I can rock really hard, which is exactly the way it should be.
Okay. So Gabriel, when Bob approached you and auditioned you, how did you feel when he said, "Okay, let's do this"?
It was a surprise. I didn't think I'd be in a band at 13. I thought I was going to be in college and have a band up there.
13.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was 13.
Yeah, whenever we started.
He's 15 now.
Yeah, I'm 15.
But he was 13 then.
But yeah, I didn't think it'd be that early, and so I thought I was going to have a college garage band, and we would just kind of mess around and be really bad. And that's kind of what my dream was. And then this happened, and Bob found me, and he tried me out, and like whenever we walked into the church, because we decided to do the audition or whatever, at the church that I go to, it's a small little traditional church, and he came in, and it just wasn't what I wasn't expecting. None of it was. So he walked in, kind of introduced himself, and then I was nervous the whole time. But he kind of toned me down a little bit. It was a lot more like, it was really laid back. So we just kind of did that, and then I was kind of nervous for the next week because I was waiting for an email to see if I was in or out. Finally said I was in. And it's just a giant blessing to have this opportunity with all the connections and stuff that you can have, all the people you talk to that you wouldn't regularly talk to them without being a musician or being in a band or that kind of thing.
So you started playing the keyboards at a very young age.
Yeah, I was 9 years old.
Who were some of your influences that you really liked to listen to?
See, with like keyboard and stuff, I never, mostly I kind of just wanted to learn like kind of guitar and stuff like that. Keyboard wasn't my main thing. Really, I wanted to learn violin. But with like keyboard, I didn't really have any. I mean, I was in 4th grade. I didn't listen to a lot of good music. I listened to like Linkin Park. Gross. Yeah, I know. And so I did that, and then a guy named Philip Giacomelli. We had heard about him at school, and he was from Illinois, and he was giving lessons. He was new to the town, and the choir. I was in honors choir, which is like a choir thing at our school, and our choir director was like, "Hey, if you want to take piano lessons, talk to this guy." And I thought it was too expensive, so I didn't worry about it. I didn't talk to my parents about it. And then my mom had actually met Philip in Walmart, and she hooked me up with lessons, and that was a giant blessing right there.
Everybody meets everybody in Walmart.
No kidding. Who doesn't go to Walmart?
Yes.
Especially in Raleigh.
No kidding.
So Philip was a giant influence, but he's not like a famous guy. He's got his master's in music education, but he's a super cool guy. So.
Well, how many of you guys want to listen to some SinnerSaved right now? Can we do that? Can we do that? Let's play some music.
Fidelity Local 6, in partnership with Ozark Actors Theater, brings you the Christian rock band SinnerSaved.